was just a weird noise I made.
That was you? Words. That's how you start it.
I was actually just making a noise, waiting for you to actually press record.
I thought that was like an intentional.
No.
Like we're trying to outdo ourselves each week with a
Nope, there's no outdoing.
sillier and sillier beginning.
There's no silliness. I'm not going to be silly at all.
Well, I just want to thank you in front of our 6 listeners.
In front of them? Is that what you say?
I don't know.
When someone's listening to something? They're not here. You're going to thank me for what? Go ahead. I'm so sorry. Please thank me for whatever you want to thank me for. For the drink I made for you?
Well, yes, indeed. No, for taking care of the kiddos and the home while I was away this past weekend. For the fishing trip. Just want to thank you publicly.
You're welcome.
It's appreciated sacrifice.
Well, I take care of the home every day anyway. That's what you told the kids upstairs. I'm sorry. I don't know why you changed it for the 6 listeners. For the kids, you said.
Oh, I was trying to just be appreciative in general
You're
for
so
you,
sweet.
but I take it all back.
It was my pleasure to hold down the fort while you were fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have a cumulative total that you'd like to share with how many fish you caught
nobody
over
likes
3 days?
Nobody likes to brag.
No, you said there would be fish stories. That's what you said last week. You were very specific, and I
right,
think
there's
there
not
might
too
be
many-
people waiting
I don't think so.
for fish stories.
I doubt it. But
You never
it was a
know.
good weekend.
You never know.
We had decent weather until the final morning, so we decided not to fish. We had a Nair sinking.
Not your boat, thankfully.
Not my boat. But all people lived. And it
good.
wasn't a great fishing weekend, but it was a good fishing weekend. And it was far better than last year's fishing weekend.
By better, do you mean
Total catches.
Total catch.
Yeah.
And as the question I got the most from you being gone when I said you were fishing was, does he come back and you eat them? And I had to say, they only fish for sport. They
Catch
don't catch.
and
Catch and release.
release.
Catch and release for sport. So you let the fish live to see another hook.
We hope so. Although I will say there were 2 fish that I caught that somehow the hook got them through the eye.
Oh, that's gross.
And one of them was a little guy. I felt so bad for him. I tried not to damage his eye, but
Well, how would you get the hook out without damaging his eye?
It was tough. It was tough.
That's gross.
Yeah, it wasn't good. I felt bad for those 2.
You threw them back, though, and they
The
had a
rest of them,
sporting chance.
Most of them pretty much had just simple
Injuries.
injuries. Easy for me to say.
Simple injuries, a hook through the mouth.
My brother was the winner. He had 30 fish overall.
Wow.
We had one year where we caught 30 fish in one lake. So it's not.
Wow, I see.
We've had a couple of years where each of us are in the 60 range of catches, but
So this was not a
it was a good
booming-
year. It wasn't a great year. And I finished tied for second place with my brother-in-law. We both had 24.
It's pretty good.
And my dad, he just had an off year this year.
But he always wins, as we said last week.
It's either him or my brother, Brian, yeah.
Mm.
Usually it's my father. And he was off. He lost his magic touch. Nobody, please don't tell him.
I don't
Just,
think
you know what?
The 6 listeners
Just
know him.
encourage him if you see him.
Yeah. Better luck next year.
Yeah, better luck next year.
So you had a fun time.
It was a lovely time. Always nice being up in New Hampshire.
Oh, my gosh. New Hampshire.
Again, it was Saturday and Sunday were just perfect days. Beautiful, beautiful days. And it was nice. We got some rest. We had a lot of good quality time as men. It's good. I feel like I'm losing my voice.
Well, did you have to talk loudly over the motor of the boat?
Yeah, that happened a bunch of times. Yeah.
But then didn't you sit in silence of catching fish?
It's
like,
never-
don't you
it's
sit
never-
nice and
no,
quietly?
no.
Because you don't want to scare the fish away?
You don't want to scare the fish away.
So you can't be loud.
But you're we're not hunting.
Well, it's kind of like hunting, but it's different because the fish are under the water.
Sure. Okay.
What kind of fish do you catch? I got asked that question.
Mostly-
I said bass.
Yes, either smallmouth or largemouth bass.
Okay, so I was correct when I answered
I
that
did catch a
question.
couple of pickerel.
I wouldn't know a pickerel if I saw one.
Yeah, they're just like, they have teeth. So you can't grab them by the lip. You can't lip them.
Because they'll bite you.
So you put gloves on or grab a rag or something. You grab them around the body and you pull the hook out. I hadn't caught a pickerel in years. I caught 2 on Friday.
Pickerel.
That was it. So it was nice. Now we're back home. I'm very happy to be home.
We're happy to have you back. But we had a nice weekend.
Nice.
Thanks for asking. We
Who asked?
You
I already heard
in
about your
head.
weekend.
Yes, I know. I heard about
And
yours
you heard about
too. This is for the listeners, for Pete's sakes. I talked to a friend this week from Maine, Amy, and she said it's really nice because I feel like I'm caught up. What? Really, your brother? He called last week, and he's texting you now while we're trying to record.
I had to let him know I had his sandals. He left them in my truck. And apparently he left stuff in Kevin's truck too. So my brother's got stuff scattered across the country.
Or the state. Very
No,
short.
2 states.
2 states. Okay, the two.
Across southeastern New England.
It's very, very dramatic.
Sorry.
Anyways,
you
I
were
was
saying
saying that I spoke to our friend Amy from Maine, and she said it's nice. We haven't talked in a long time. She had a baby this year. It was a very exciting year. Obviously, it was pandemic, so we didn't get to see them. And she said, it's nice being caught up on your life, though, listening to the podcast. So she knew about the flooded basement because I was telling her about the flood. And she goes, well, we knew, we heard because we were listening to your podcast.
Yeah, so, folks, if you're don't bother calling us, reaching out to us. Just listen to the podcast. We don't do the podcast just to give you updates.
We don't, but it was an extra added bonus that she got to hear about things that were going on because we haven't talked in a while. It was funny.
It's like a history lesson.
Well, that's what Marianne said last time. She goes, oh, yeah, I feel so caught up on your life. Like, as I was, when we saw them and
I suppose we don't skip a beat, but we know nothing about their lives.
Yeah, I started telling her a story, and she said, yeah. Oh, yeah, I heard that on the podcast. I said, well, what am I going to talk about now? You got to stop listening to the podcast.
No, don't say that.
No, we want more listeners.
That's
not
funny.
less.
That is funny, though.
Anyway, so we had a nice weekend. It was nice to spend time with the kiddos. And then my parents came over last night and we played dominoes, and that was really fun. And I took them out to a restaurant, first time since before the pandemic. It's
epic.
been over a year since our kids ate at a
without
restaurant.
me.
We've been to restaurants through the pandemic, and we didn't take them because, of course, that's like 10 people, and usually they weren't even letting you sit like 6 people or more at a table, so we couldn't go to a restaurant. So they were excellent.
We went to one restaurant, by the way. Last October,
You're right, in New Hampshire, but
not
not here. We haven't. You're right. I forgot when we had gone up north.
But it had been a while because normally we try to go.
Remember when we went to that restaurant? They gave us such a hard time.
They did.
Because we were such a big part.
But they came through. They came through to be fair to them.
But they gave us they were like, oh, we can't see
a rough
this many
start.
people. We were like, you do know we're all one family, right? Like we live in the same house.
They figured it out, though.
They figured it out. So anyway, but it had been a long time since they had gone to a restaurant.
Sure.
And the kids were fantastic. They really were so perfect.
It's because I wasn't there.
Timmy was like the picturesque of, and I know I told you that Michael's been reading him this book about manners that Timmy found on the bookshelf and has just wanted Michael to read it over and over.
Well, what's the name of the book? Because this podcast is
Chicken
about helping people with their
Fingers,
families.
Mac and cheese. Why do we always have to say please? That's the name of the book.
That's one of my
favorites. It's a really cute book, and it's funny. And so unbeknownst to me, I learned about the fact that they've been reading this while we were sitting
because
there.
Timothy showed manners.
And all of a sudden,
the 4-year-old.
the 4-year-old looks at me and says, Mom. And then he stops and he finishes chewing and he said, oh, I was going to talk, but I had food in my mouth. So I waited. And I looked at him and I looked across the table watching another child, I won't name names, chewing and talking with her mouth full. And I said, maybe you need to read Chicken Fingers, Mac and Cheese. Why do we always have to say please? And she started laughing. I said, because Timmy's got it down pat. He was awesome.
Well, you're mother of the year.
I don't think so. No,
To me, you are.
There are much better mothers than me. I just took my kids to a restaurant.
I was really impressed that you did that. Thank you for doing that.
No, it was really fun. I had a good time.
Congratulations.
So we had a nice weekend without you. We missed you, of course.
Why did you come back?
But it was we had a fine weekend. Of course, I don't sleep when you're not here because I hear every noise and I can't put my earplugs in because then if someone breaks in and tries to kill us, I won't hear it. So
It happens all the time.
when you're here, I have earplugs in and I sleep
I have
well.
stopped more people trying to get into the house over the years.
But see, they wouldn't come when you're here. They'd only come when you're not here.
Sure.
Because,
I understand.
then I have to defend the household.
I get the same way when you're not here.
You don't.
I do. You have
Because-
I think that's a built-in heightened sense of security, right? When we're together, we feel like we would tackle things together.
That's true.
When
Yeah.
you're alone, you feel like you're down a person. You're down a
'Cause
team member.
I was down a person. So I didn't
back.
sleep well, but I'm sure I look like that because I didn't bother to do anything to my face. So for this video, there you go, people.
You look beautiful.
Tired me.
You look beautiful.
No makeup.
Beautiful.
Welcome to the real world.
Beautiful.
Well,
BEA.
thank you. Thank you so
Beautiful.
much.
You're welcome.
Phone's ringing.
Phone's ringing.
So anyway, and we didn't mean this, but we matched today. This is not a polo advertisement.
Yeah, for those listening, this is, we happen to both
but
be
I just
wearing.
happened to the only
And it's like
polo
red and blue
shirt.
and blue and red.
I've been wearing it all day, so it's
That's
got
gross.
all sorts of stains on it, and and I didn't change because I didn't have time for that. And then you went and changed and put on just the opposite shirt of me. It's so funny. Like
I wanted to match.
match. Oh, you did that on purpose?
Yes.
Oh, you did do it on purpose.
Yes, I saw your shirt earlier.
I thought it was a coincidence.
Nope.
Aren't you sweet matching?
And of course,
with me?
we have like, red, white, and blue,
Red, white, and blue. Yep. That's
which is,
not done on purpose, but
of course, reminds us of the great summer holiday that's coming up.
that's right.
In summer, by the time this comes out, that's the 17th. So summer will be like 20th or 21st?
I
around
think the
there.
21st,
21st,
is when
so we're-
official start of summer.
We are a few days away from the official start of summer, and then we get July 4th in a couple of weeks.
So welcome to another episode of Raising 8.
A couple of sinners trying to raise saints.